This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area. This, this, this should be played. This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Shalom, Salama, Siemi, and Shalom to you always, family abroad. It's your man Yashar Rawls, aka Red Letter Rap. You already know my wife Yaza Red is with us as well.
Shalom, family.
And so, a lot of y'all, everybody should be able to know by now that we're not doing an actual Bible study tonight. I definitely want to ask, and we both want to ask, for any possible help with our current situation. I guess I don't want to. All right, so
can I solve?
Yes, that's exactly why. That's exactly why. Go ahead, man.
So, family, as some of you may already know, that my firstborn, my 25-year-old daughter, was found deceased on Wednesday, October 9th. It was an unexpected death. And as you can imagine, we were not preparing for this. We never saw this coming. And I must tell you that the Most High has definitely kept me strong and held up. But we are really asking the Kingdom family to really come together and help put my daughter to rest. Unfortunately, the way this system works, they charge an exceeding amount of money to bury someone. And we know that scripture clearly says, from dust you came, dust you return. I want to be able to give my family a resting place for her because they are definitely having a difficult time managing this loss. I go through my periods of sorrow, but because of the relationship I have with the Most High, He's holding me up with His right hand. And He's been so kind and so merciful and explaining and showing me so many things. Yes, please do so. We are, unfortunately, another thing with the system is that they only allow but so much time. They only hold the body but so much time. So there's an urgency for us to get funds. There is an urgency, which is why there's a date on the GoFundMe. This is urgent. If I do not have this money by a certain date, or I don't have I need to have money to make arrangements, because arrangements have to pick up her body by a certain day, or they'll send her to what's called Potter's Field, where they're Jane Doe's. And so I don't want someone not paying their rent, right? I'm not asking for that, but I'm asking for the community to come together and be creative. You know, some of us work. Ask your employer if you can post the GoFundMe page. Ask them first. Send them to your relatives, your friends. But I did want to talk a little bit about Tereze and why it's so important that I give her the rest that she deserves. While Tereze was here, Tereze, she had such a loving and giving heart. She was just beautiful. And I'm not saying that because she is my daughter. Tereze was the type of person that she would give you her last. And I know that people say that here and there, but no, I'm telling you, she would. She would take the little that she had if it was going to help you out, which reminds me a lot of that woman that we read in the Bible when the prophet went to her, and I think all she had was some bread or something. I don't know. She had like a little bit of food, and she had shared the little that she had left and had told the prophet, you know, this is all me and my son have left, and you know, I'll give you this, but after this we're gonna die. And that's how Tereze was. Tereze would even pick up stray animals and nurse them to care. And if she couldn't help you, she was going to find somebody to help you. I can't tell you the many times Tereze brought people to me to help them. Whether it was, you know, for them to get on benefits, for them to try to find housing or try to find a therapist, or even to talk them down when they were having an anxiety episode. That's just the type of person Tereze was. And Tereze had this silliness about her that you could just try to be all serious as you want. And she would just always come up with a little saying to just make you laugh. And that's who Tereze was. She was just like so silly in her own way, just so bubbly. There was so much love. I think there wasn't one person that she came across where she didn't touch her life. In fact, her dad was telling me that when she moved into her place and he bumped into her sister, who's into his sister, which was her aunt, distant aunt. She hadn't seen her in a long time. She didn't know her situation. And the lady she was fine. Like, she didn't need no help. But right away, Tereze was like, oh my goodness. Well, we live close to each other. Listen, if you need anything, you know, you just let me know. That's just how Tereze was. So, family, I'm asking you to treat this situation the way you would treat family. As if she was your daughter. There's an urgency. The Most High said you receive not because you ask not. So I need you guys to please be creative. Sometimes putting it on Facebook is just not enough. And putting it on Instagram is just not enough. Some of us still go to assemblies in a building. Some of us have people in our contacts that maybe we haven't spoken to them in some time, but we still have some type of relationship. Reach out to them. There's people out there that a donation may not be much for them. You know, in our community, they've made things so difficult for us that Even the smallest donation is helpful. Everything counts. Everything means something. Other than that, I need you to know that I am actually celebrating my daughter's life. I'm celebrating the 25 years that the Most High gave me with her. All the memories. Who I didn't expect this to happen. We all want to live till we're old. But who are we to dictate our life? So of course I lost a daughter, but I'm not like rolled up like in a fetal position in the corner. I still have a praise in my mouth. I'm not angry at the Most High. And I'm not confused as to why he allowed this to happen. He has made it very clear to me and has brought witnesses that had no idea what he had already told me. He is my strength. The family, the extended family, they definitely need prayer. The family, when you pray, please, there's a spiritual warfare going on, even in discussing arrangements for this wake and funeral, because of people's indoctrination and not understanding that I don't subscribe to their indoctrination. So that's the warfare I'm dealing with right now as we speak as well. So before we get off, I did want to share the spin on this, because there is a spin. Prior to Teresa's passing, I had another daughter who hadn't spoken to me in 3 years, or the family. And the day of Teresa's passing, babe, you know, you distract me when
No,
you
you're
do
good.
that.
You're
The
good.
day of Teresa's passing, I received a phone call from that other daughter. The last time I saw and heard from that daughter, she was 15, and that daughter's about to be 19 in December. And it was a silent pain that I was experiencing that I didn't share with many people. And when I answered the phone, I heard this sweet voice saying, "Mommy." And all she could say was she wanted to know how I was doing and how concerned she was about me. Prior to her calling, I was wondering if I was going to ever see her again, even at the funeral. And if I saw her, was she even going to say anything to me? That daughter has, that relationship with that daughter has been reconciled. We've been speaking, catching up. The Most High has been using that to help me get through. Now, some time ago, I asked the Most High years ago, Most High, explain to me this situation with Job. Because when you were testing his faith, he lost everything, including his children. And then you restored what he had lost. And one thing that I could never understand was that the children piece, because one child does not replace the other. And what he told me was, Job's love and faithfulness for me was not measured by what I had given him. It was measured by who I am to him. So while I would love to have both my daughters, because when I cry, that's what I'm crying about. The completeness of having my entire tribe. But my worship is still in my mouth, and my praise still comes out my mouth. Because the Most High gives me understanding of these things. What I have found out about just knowing that he used my daughter to align things the way that they needed to be. See, not only was I grieving about my younger daughter, but my entire family and my elderly parents, they're in their 80s and they're sickly. And I recently have been praying to the Most High, if it be your will for me never to see that daughter again or hear from her, if I may ask something of you, at least allow my parents to hear her voice and see her before they transition. See, it was grieving me that they would transition, grieving over the fact that they hadn't seen the younger one or heard from her, because they would cry. And that even bothered Tarazay. It bothered her because she couldn't do nothing about it. Tarazay's life had purpose. And I only know a glimpse of the purpose of her transition. And I can't wait to see the greater purpose. Love you, family.
All right, family. So with that being said, I want to thank you personally. We both thank you personally for y'all tuning in and at least coming to hear what we got to say as it pertains to the loss of her daughter, my daughter-in-law. But I very much appreciate y'all, and thank you for all of your kind words. Please, once again, share this link, share this GoFundMe link wherever you possibly can, with friends, family, and like Yaz said, be creative. See if you can share it through your place of employment.
Ask first. Ask first, because not some employers agree to it and some don't. So we gotta use wisdom. So ask first.
Right. Some people still go to congregational buildings. If you are still in touch with any of those, please, by all means, share with them, this tragic loss that we're going through. And we severely need help. And with that being said, family, once again, Shalom, Abarakah, to you always, family abroad. We love you more than you ever know. We very much appreciate y'all tuning in or even enjoying the Bible study that we do. And so
all those who are watching, who have already donated, I want to give an additional thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for loving thy neighbor as you love thyself.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Shalom, family. Most High willing, we'll see y'all again next week. And we'll continue on with Jeremiah.
We may not.
We that's true. We may not. But we'll definitely.
Because we made the funeral. We may be in New York.
Right.
Right.
Maybe. Most High willing, we will. All right. Shalom, family.